Hello, welcome to this episode, special edition, which we call the Rainbow Edition of The Wave. I'm your host, Don Texan. Throughout this series, we're going to be interviewing people from the LGBTQ community and see how they're coping with this present crisis. And with me today, by the way, I'm coming to you alone from home. Well, I admit I do
Good.
have odd visitor every now and then, but I am home alone from Portal Bernie, and with me today is my good friend Scott the FREITAS GRAFF. Did I say your name right?
You did. You did.
Yeah.
Well done.
So, Scott the FREITAS GRAFF, your name says it all, I guess. Is that representative of all the European ethnicities?
There we go.
There's no Asian in that mix, is there? Or is there?
Not yet, but you know.
You're working on it.
Sure.
Okay, Scott is a good friend of mine, and you're a co-author of this book, Daring to
That's correct.
Share?
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about the book before we get into the interview?
The easiest way to tell it is to give you a bit of the history. And
Okay.
my business partner and I 3 years ago decided to start having community events here in Oceanside. I live in Parksville, and we did this series of storytelling events called Daring to Share. And it's ordinary people sharing extraordinary stories. So, we would look at it as a community building thing, and we would get a venue and we would get community storytellers to get up and share a 15-20 minute story. And we did that for a couple of years, and always really well received. And Diana decided to get 8 of us together to share a story and put it in a book. And we've done 3 volumes now. Volume 1, Volume 2, and a special edition, and we're currently working on Volume 3, several solo projects, including mine. I'm coming out with Daring to Be Queer. And
Tell me about that. Why not about that?
well, Dawn will be a featured author in Daring to Be Queer, and I'm also looking for...
I am? I'm kidding.
Ah.
Of course.
Totally. Your name and lights. And that'll be the same thing. LGBTQ people sharing their stories, whether it's their coming out story or something that happened with their life. I've got 4 authors signed on, a couple more in process, and I'm looking for a couple more. So if anybody out there is interested, it's scott@daringtoshare.com.
There you go. Cross-blogging right there. Anyway, so this is a highly community, like a highly attended event in your community, right? So you've been doing this for a couple of years, a Dare to Share thing. And now that COVID-19 has come into the picture, it just totally puts this into a grinding halt, doesn't it?
You would think. What we've done, though, if you go to our website, daringtoshare.com, or search us on YouTube, is we're still sharing stories, and we're sharing COVID-19 stories, as well as different topics every week. We've done, much the way you have with The Wave. We've adapted. So, we're doing things on Zoom. We're doing things on Facebook Messenger. We're hosting little chat groups where people can just come in and share. Sharing and storytelling is a great way to process information, process trauma, and I think collectively this has been the biggest trauma that we've had.
Oh yeah,
In our
globally.
lifetimes. So I think there's a lot of people out there yearning for connection. We're on lockdown, everybody's in quarantine all over the world. When was the last time anybody's hugged anyone or, sat in Starbucks and had a coffee? It feels like forever. But
I know, right? Especially for us. I mean, you and I are very highly social, and it's just killing me. So when did your count start? As far as I'm concerned, I'm on day 31. I can't believe I'm on day 31 of self-isolation. What's your count so far?
My last day at work was March 17th. It was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, wow. You were ahead of me then.
Yeah, I think I'm on day 35 now.
Wow.
Something like
Well, at
that.
least you're not alone. You have your partner there, your lovely Reverend John. Well,
Yes,
we're interviewing tomorrow in this series, the LGBTQ series. So you're on day 35.
yes.
So how has that been for you? I'm curious to know.
Well,
The
I've kind
highly
of settled into, sorry.
the highly socialite Scott
Oh,
has been in isolation for 35 days. How has that been for you? Mentally, emotionally, physically?
well, I gained weight, I think, like a lot of us.
Okay.
I know, right? One of the gay cardinal sins. But I figure I'm going to pull a Britney Spears. I'm just going to gain 70 pounds because everybody loves a comeback. Shave my head, have a highly publicized breakdown. It'll be great.
Okay, I was gonna say, was that Britney Spears or an Oprah? No, with a shaking and a breakdown, that is a Britney Spears.
There we go. Gonna go hit a couple of cars with my umbrella. But to answer your question,
So, okay. So, how have you like managed to cope with all the, the virtual insanity?
well, virtually for one. Uh, It's, I'm not going to lie, it's been tough. I'm an extrovert to the nth degree, and, I need people.
Yeah.
So, but I found ways around it. I have a girlfriend that I have breakfast with a couple times a week, and literally we get on Facebook Messenger. I have my bowl of cereal and my yogurt, and
Okay.
eggs and bacon, and we have coffee and we chat over breakfast.
Oh, that's a great idea. I think I should do that. I should find a girlfriend or a friend. Well, I do
You
have a
know,
friend. We do something on Skype, but that's a different series. That's a different episode.
but the other night I was in the living room watching a movie, and my phone kept going off, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I looked at it, and it was Facebook Messenger, and there was like 35 people in a video group chat.
Oh,
And
really?
everybody had a glass of wine, and it was just so much fun to dive in and jump into these conversations. And so I mean, I think it's causing us to be more what's the word I'm looking for, inventive, imaginative, finding out with new ways to get our needs satisfied. um, you know I didn't realize until this happened that really my only hobbies were eating in restaurants, shopping, and having coffee
So
at
that's what I
Starbucks.
was about to ask you. Like pre-crisis or pre-COVID-19, what were you up to? Like you were working in the entertainment
Hospitality.
business, the
Yeah.
hospitality business, right? You're in a restaurant. You were doing events and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. I also have a business doing social media marketing for a number of businesses on Vancouver Island.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, everything came to a grinding halt really fast. The information was coming out of Ottawa so fast. I was in the restaurant when we got the edict of, no gatherings of more than 100 people, no gatherings of more than 50 people. The next day it was no more than 10. Then it was 5. Then shut the restaurants down except for takeout. And this all happened within a few days.
So is your restaurant still doing takeout?
No,
Oh,
no.
they've totally shut down.
Yeah. Unless you're in a downtown center, whatever that looks like in your town or city, it's a tough skate to do. You need that population density to make takeout effective.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And the restaurant I worked in was so massive; it required so many people to be in the building to function.
Yeah,
So,
I've been there. It's a nice restaurant. I'm glad I got to eat there before all this pandemonium happened to us.
oh, and if anybody's wondering, we're talking about Cuckoo and Coombs at the Old Country Market.
Okay, they get a plug. Fine.
There we go.
They're closed anyway.
They're awesome people.
So what do you do? Have you settled into like a certain routine every day, or just wake up and see what you want to do?
Well,
What is a typical
funny,
day
my husband and I have been
for
making
Mr.
these jokes.
DeGraw?
I'll look at my watch. It's 11 o'clock. Oh, time to take off my night pajamas and get into my day pajamas.
There's
But
day pajamas. That's new.
well, I invented them. You can buy them online. But I think again, necessity being the mother of invention, it's forced me to kind of prioritize some other projects, and
Mm-hmm.
without the distraction of the outside world, I can really concentrate on writing, and I can concentrate on working with my authors one-on-one. We've got some exciting stuff happening with Daring to Share too. We're filming that a couple times a week, and we've got two documentaries now in the works.
Wow.
So again, it's caused us to kind of assess and go, okay, we have all this time now, we can't do any of these things. So how can we focus and redirect the business and, our message? How do we encourage that community connection and conversation in an environment that doesn't encourage community connection and conversation?
Yeah, it's hard. I was just hearing the news this morning, and it says that things are definitely going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we do get back to our normal routines, it's not going to be the same.
No, even
What does it look like for you? Like, what do you think? Like after the social restrictions are lifted and we slowly get back to our routines, it will never be the same again.
No, I think our social landscape has changed forever. And I know that kind of sounds dramatic, but even if you look around at the businesses, I know here where I live in Parksville, there's several businesses that just shut down. They're never going to reopen again. With my social media and marketing business, I had 3 contracts at one point that are now out of business.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have just gone ball it because the aid, and let me just, with this caveat that I think our government has done an amazing job.
Oh, definitely.
Of supporting us as citizens and casting the net far and wide. And I say that because, as an outsider looking in, because I don't qualify for the CERB benefits. They haven't filled those loopholes yet, but they cast the net wide and they got as many people into that net as they could. And they're helping a lot of people. But I think for small businesses, and especially in the restaurant industry, the profit margins are so razor thin that, a shutdown for a week or two meant life or death for a lot of these restaurants. And I have another friend who has several businesses, and their rent every month is over $65,000.
Really?
Now, imagine having a retail location and no money coming in.
Yeah, that's just.
So, in terms of the retail and restaurant landscape, I think, that's done forever. And the social distancing, I think we're still probably looking at a couple of years of this.
A couple of years? No hugs? No handshakes? Oh my God, I'm crying already.
I know. But, if you look at the former models, like the 1918 influenza outbreak, there were waves. And I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I think we're doing a great job, and I think we need to continue doing what we're doing. And believe me, it kills me to say that because I would much rather be out there. I want to be wandering through the mall and meeting up with friends. And
yeah, so tell me, because I'm in Port Alberni and you're in Parksville, as you mentioned, how is the situation there in Parksville as a community? What's your assessment as a community in Parksville?
Well, Parksville is largely a retirement community. And there's a lot of people here that fall under the risk groups. There's a lot of elderly people, people with diabetes, immune compromised, recent surgeries. I think people are scared.
Okay, so the streets are practically empty. There's no people out in the streets, or barely.
Well, all that's really open are the grocery stores, the liquor stores, and the weed dispensaries, and the odd restaurant that's still doing takeout.
Okay.
But let me tell you, those restaurants that are doing takeout are lined up.
Oh, they're making a killing. Even here in Port Alberni, I mean, they're like, they don't accept orders on the weekend or something. There's a restaurant here that they're just so swamped with takeout orders that they have to stop it.
Wow.
And yeah, and even some the big box stores don't get phone calls anymore. They don't receive any more like phone call orders. You have to buy it online or come into the store and do curbside pickup.
Yeah, curbside.
So everybody's adopting. Everybody's we're a resilient race, like we're a resilient species. So we gotta survive somehow. we're not going to be wiped out by this, not like the dinosaurs and the meteor showers. So,
I think you're right on that one.
well, we have the opposing thumb. The T-Rex
Yeah.
had like short arms, so he didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. They couldn't swat it away.
So, as far as you're aware, how about your municipal government? What have they been doing in terms of coping with the crisis?
Well,
I mean, you're in Parksville,
yep, they shut down the parks. They're keeping people in the loop in terms of, if you've signed up for the website, they're sending out emails with, the protocol updates. And, I think with the government is, whether that be municipal, provincial, or federal, they're all giving us the same information. It's, but, at different levels and how it applies, here they shut down the playgrounds, and then they've done that everywhere. Same thing with the city parks. You can cut through the park, but they don't encourage lingering.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So even the parks are shut down there. You can't linger in the park, or even if you're by yourself.
You're not supposed to.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
So in your situation right now, it's just you and your partner John, and your lovely little furry baby. What's her name?
Bijou.
Sorry, Bijou.
Bijou. Yeah.
Bijou, yeah. What breed is Bijou again?
She's a Bichon Frise.
Okay.
French dog, French name. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't speak a word of English. Or at least pretends not to understand it.
Well, at least you're still in high spirits. Out of all the people I've interviewed, like you're so still bubbly and still in high spirits and everything. And how are the Lysol wipes I gave you holding up? Are you out of them already?
No, actually, I just opened the second canister. And thank you for supplying me with those during that national Lysol wipe shortage.
Yeah, before we shut down. Okay, I just want to make clear to the audience, Scott visited me, that was like a month ago, or almost a month ago, I think.
Yeah, it was around St. Patrick's Day there. Yeah.
Because he did some shopping here in Port Alberni. I don't know why he had to shop here when there was so much shopping in Parksville anyway. No, at least we had time to visit one last time. That was the last time I saw you, which was like almost over a month ago, right?
It was, yeah. I think it was over a month ago now.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your plans in case this lifts? What are you gonna do if this comes to an end finally? Are you gonna hit the bars, throw a party?
I might actually. I might.
Well, I don't
social distancing movement.
Celebration. I still have a bottle of champagne ready to be popped when all this is over.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Daring to Share, we were supposed to do a big book launch event in Kingston on the 30th, Kingston, Ontario.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we were planning on taking Daring to Share on the road, and of course we've had to cancel that. So I think, and when I say cancel, that's a bit of a misnomer. We postponed it until September 10th. So,
okay.
Yeah, so hoping.
So you're still hopeful that, this will be all over and we'll be able to do public gatherings and public events by September.
Yeah, exactly. And if not, then we'll have to postpone it again. We were on the cusp of a bunch of different events and things going on when this kind of locked us all down. So some of those plans have changed, some have gone out the window, and other things have been born from it, such as the videos that we're doing, the Zoom calls, the Messenger.
Okay, so plug away. Where do we go to find out more information about what you're doing, the Dare to Share group and everything? So
daringtoshare.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can search us on Facebook. You can search us on Instagram. That we usually keep.
So Dare to Share, just one word. The two is to
daring to share.
Oh, Daring to Share. Okay.
Yeah.
Daring to Share with TO, not two.
Yes.
Like the number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, daringtoshare.com. And like I said, you can search us on Instagram, Facebook, our YouTube channel. We've got some great content on there. And it's people sharing from there to hear stories. So, what something meant to them then and what it means to them now and how they got from there to here. And then, of course, you can go on to Chapters and Indigo and Amazon and order the books. Those are available on there. I'm a featured author in Volume 1, and my story is called Integrity. And I also, at the book launch we did in October of 2018, we had a wonderful videographer who came down and actually taped our Where Are They Now stories.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Where was this? Where?
That one in particular was in Coombs.
Oh.
We did it at Cuckoo.
Okay.
I know it sounds a bit nepotistic, but not only is the food fantastic, it is a big space, and we needed to.
It's a lovely restaurant.
Yeah.
And they're Italian or French? Italian, right?
Italian.
Italian. Yeah. So there's the book, but I noticed in the book the build author is Diana Rears. Did I say that right?
Ryers. Diana is my business partner, and she's the founder of Daring to Share.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so she does the books, I do the events. And then
I see.
together on a bunch of different projects.
Okay, since we're plugging away, we will plug one last item, which is this YouTube show that Scott and I are going to be doing. So I'll let you tell them about it, Scott.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be great.
You're in charge of the social media anyway. I'm in charge of the video editing and other stuff.
So Don and I decided we needed a project together, and it's called Queer View Mirror. And the social media and the YouTube channel will be up for that over the next couple of weeks. And we're going to be interviewing people and talking. Well, initially, I think we're probably going to have to be talking about COVID and different ways it affects the gay community, different industries within the gay community. But we're going to be, it's going to be a show by queer people, for queer people, about queer people. And we're super, super excited about it.
That's a good way of putting it. See, that's why you're in charge of social media. Well, I guess it's all the time we have because I do not have a paid account on Zoom. I'm only limited to 40.
Don't worry, we'll set one up.
Oh, don't worry. I'll when my next paycheck comes in, I'll subscribe.
I'll
find out. Anyway. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you for being with us, Scott. And thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This is again Don Texan coming to you from The Wave. Catch us next time on The Wave. Love you all.